your boy Mbuso, and I'll be hosting FTLF, For the Love of Football, UAE's first English sports commentary podcast. July 26th marked the last day of the Premier League 2019-20 season, and here are the results that mattered the most. Liverpool won 3-1 against Newcastle, Arsenal beat Watford 3-2, Manchester United beat Leicester by 2-0, Chelsea beat Wolves 2-0. Manchester City won 5-0 against Norwich, and Tottenham drew with Crystal Palace at 1-1. The top 6 teams in the Premier League are, this season, Liverpool with 99 points, Manchester City with 81, Manchester United with 66, Chelsea with 66 as well, only being put fourth because of goal difference, Leicester with 62 points, and Tottenham with 59 points. Now it's time for the Premier League Roundup. To give us more insight into tonight's matchups, representing Liverpool, the team who after 30 long years call themselves winners of the Premier League. Congrats and welcome to FTLF, Zeeshan.
Thank you, Mbuso. How are you doing?
I'm alright, man. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm fine. Won the title after 30 years. Happy days.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me why you support Liverpool, my guy.
Okay, so the greatest asset to this club is its fans, obviously. And I've been a fan since the age of 8. My dad has instilled Liverpool in me. We've been watching games literally every season, be it the Premier League, the Champions League, the EFL Cup. And the exciting play of Liverpool, pass and move, emphasis on teamwork, controlling games in possession, hard work, smart movement. And since Jurgen Klopp has come in, I mean, we lost the Champions League and then we came back next season and won it. We lost the Premier League by a point and then again we came next season and we got the title. So the strong mentality, the togetherness, that sense of family within my team, I really feel close to Liverpool, and that's really why I love this team. Liverpool will always be a part of me.
Well, yeah, that's great stuff. And now let's toss in some records set in stone by Liverpool this season and have your opinion on them. First of all, Liverpool have had a 25-point lead this season, the biggest ever in English top-flight history. When Liverpool reached 61 points from the opening 21 matches, it was the most the team has ever accumulated at that stage in any Europe top 5. Yeah, and 3 of the top 5 assisters in the entire Premier League came from Liverpool. What does that mean to you as a fan of Liverpool?
Since Jurgen Klopp has come in, I have noticed that we have changed our style of play, where our fullbacks and our midfielders, they acquire the same amount of assists each and every season, which is not something every team does, especially with Trent and Robbo on the right back and left back. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold broke his record of last season as well with the most number of assists. So it's just our style of play which I feel gives us this lead, because I don't see any other Premier League team play the way Liverpool does. So I just feel this style which Jurgen Klopp has instilled into Liverpool is one of the reasons why we get so many assists, especially from our fullbacks.
Yeah. Do you think any of the highlights are highlighted players are deserving of a Ballon d'Or run this season?
This season, honestly speaking, I don't think so. I mean, we have players who have played really well. I mean, Virgil van Dijk, Sadio Mane, Trent, Robbo. I mean, they've all had a great season, but I feel unlike last season, this season has been more of a team play. Everyone has done bits in their part. It's not like one player has stood out. So I don't feel anyone has really come out in such a way where they are that deserving of a Ballon d'Or. Yes, maybe top 5, but I don't see anyone in top 3. And
last but not least, what do you think Liverpool have to do to secure another league next
year? Honestly speaking, I feel the way I've seen Liverpool in the past 2 months, challenging for the title next season will be really tough, especially seeing the way United, Chelsea, City, the way that they have been thrashing teams since we've secured the title. We will be needing a lot of strengthening, especially in our defense, midfield, and also one more main striker. So it's not going to be easy. We need to work our way up. It's not like just because we won this season with a 25-point gap, it's going to be easy next season. No, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you very much, Mike. Our next host supports the team which bought the hearts of many fans in Manchester and around the world, Manchester City. Welcome, Manzar.
Hey, what's up, Mbuso? What you doing? How you doing?
Nothing much. Just enjoyed like the best night of football ever. Like.
Alright.
Yeah, man. Tell us why you support Man City, my guy.
Many people have this false assumption that every single Man City fan is a plastic fan. They follow the club because they have money, they bought their success. But in all honesty, City has been instilled in me by my dad. And my dad's been supporting City for a very long time, ever since the investment came out, to be honest. For me, I fell in love with City ever since the glorious moment in which Aguero scores in the last moment to turn the title away from United's grip. And from that moment on, City just has went on to become most probably the most dominating English team in the Premier League.
Yeah, I feel you. And what do you think gives prominence to that dominance? Who do you think pushed it?
Honestly, smart investment and good plays and good buys. At the end of the day, you can put your money where your mouth is, but a lot of clubs have failed to invest money properly into a system. Take Leeds, for example. We could take Blackburn. We could take PSG also for an example, because they have failed miserably, in all honesty.
Yeah, I feel you. So yeah, just gonna run through some stats right now. 102 goals, 20 assists from Kevin De Bruyne, 17 clean sheets. These are all stats that Manchester City are leading in right now. But why haven't they won the Premier League?
Sadly, I think it just boils down to our defense, because attacking-wise, Man City have been sublime, and they've always produced the best attacking play in the world, period. So for us, our problem was replacing Vincent Kompany. The fact that we went into the season without replacing him really hurt us in the long run, to be honest. John Stones just hasn't stepped up, and Laporte has been good, but he's been very high and dry. And in all honesty, Cancelo hasn't planned out the way that I wanted to. He's been good, but Walker has had an amazing season, causing him to stay at the bench. So in all honesty, I think we're one or two good defensive signings away from regaining the Premier League back again.
And who do you think those signings are?
In all honesty, I personally want Koulibaly and Ben Chilwell, but let's see what happens in the future.
Okay, I feel you. After that crazy run of Champions League and Premier League qualification and all that type of stuff that Man City achieved, who do you think they should sell in their squad right now? Because it is a pretty jam-packed squad which has a subs bench which is ready to be in the top flight team right now.
Honestly, I wouldn't sell anyone in Manchester City as per now, because we've already sold Sane for around 60 million euros. And in all honesty, when it comes down to money is never a factor for City. It's
Money's
how
never
we
a
spend
factor
it.
for City.
Yeah, exactly. Money isn't a factor for City. And after City proved their innocence in the court of arbitrations, in all honesty, I think City need to put their money where their mouth is and go out, spend big, win the Champions League, and preserve dominance over all these minor clubs, in my opinion.
Well, first of all, to spice things up, you said that money is never really a factor. And why did you say that again? Let's just remind ourselves of that.
See, money, let's be honest. Nowadays, money is the main factor. People come in, rinse the club, leave. People come in, rinse the club, leave. In all honesty, Arsenal is a very big example, but I'm not going to name anyone. So City have such smart owners. in which they come in, they invest in the community, and they bloom. Let's just say City play the best football in the world. I don't think like anyone has any doubt.
In your opinion, yeah?
In my opinion, yeah.
Yeah, well, fair enough, man. I respect your opinion, and we'll come back to you later on in the podcast. Thank you for your input, my guy. Next guest supports the most successful team in the history of the league, Manchester United. Mohammed?
Glory United, my boys. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm all right, man. How are you doing?
Very well, very well. How was the last match day? Facts with everyone playing at the same time?
I mean, gathering up all the different stats wasn't the difficult part. I think the difficult part of this podcast is trying to put it all together, really. But talking about putting it all together, how do you think Manchester pulled it all together today?
Actually, I was a bit disappointed by the performance that came out after the halftime. Even though we've scored both goals later on, not as early as it seems to be. But first half was kind of whack. I wasn't really happy about it, and I wasn't having few hopes as soon as the first 10 minutes came by. Eventually, things do turn around, and that's what great matches. Great teams perform for you. Just like it reminds me of the back old days when Fergie last minute goal scores and all these things happen. But anyway, one hell of a last game of the Premier League. I enjoyed it, although I wish I could have watched the other teams play during different timings. The only problem is everything went the same time and it wasn't bad at all. I enjoyed it. Third place secured. Let's go, United. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, it's good stuff, bro. It's good stuff. You know what? Fred actually just said this about the Champions League qualification. He said it's what players and the clubs deserve. It would be great for us to be back in the Champions League, and we look to win. I want to focus and put emphasis on the last part. What is your opinion on how Manchester United can win the Champions League?
Winning the Champions League is an ultimate championship for us. It's an ultimate task for us to do. It's a mission that we definitely need to compromise, a mission that we are yet to fulfill. I mean, when you think of it, last season we were placed 6th, and this season we are 3rd somehow. Similar to Arsenal, going from 4th or 5th to all the way to 10th. And things do change every season. It's just something that's very unpredictable. Although Champions League, I'm just not sure we're ready enough for next season. Although we could just perform our very best level. If you think of it, I just wanna shout out to the 3 managers that came in, Ole, Lampard, and Arteta. All 3 of which I believe they could perform really well next season, given time. And it's the same thing that happened between Lampard and Ole. They had a rough start. Eventually, they came up big, and they've secured 3rd and 4th place. Arteta, although, came in, as a last hand, and I believe he could do something later on. But anyway, to answer your question in regards of Fred, talking about all the players deserving to be in the Champions League, that's something that every player would definitely wish to be in. Not just the Premier League, of course. You would definitely want to see them win the Champions League and to win in more titles. And I believe Fred deserved it. I've seen the development from the last few games that he's played compared to the very first half that he's had to play. I'm sure he spoke on behalf of the newcomers, say Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, James, and Bruno. And those players definitely deserve to play in the Champions League, to prove what they've got and to see how well they could compete against the top teams.
That's it. With regards to that, let's talk about which player position needs to be patched for next season to make sure that Manchester United actually have a fight.
Oh yeah, Sancho. This is something that we've all been talking about. This is a rumor that's been happening and an acceptance from the higher agents that have given us few hints and every now and there. Sancho would definitely take in good place backing up Mason Greenwood. In the bench, hopefully he could come in as a super striker or something like backup. A super sub or something like that. Following up with a left back. Williams is definitely ready, but then I really believe if we do have another left back to back up Shaw, we could possibly end up doing somewhere better. And at the same time, Grealish for Matic. We've got Fred and McTominay, but I really hope those guys are better to come in later on. And De Gea's replacement as Dean Henderson, if he proves to be very inconsistent next season, as how he's performed poorly in the last few games. Otherwise, I really think De Gea would have done something better. It's just not him to blame with, but a few other people. Those are my opinions, and I hope you do agree and disagree with a few points.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put it up in the debate round. But yeah, thank you for contributing. And glory Man United, right?
My guy. Last thing before I leave, glory United, people. Woo!
You love the guy. We love the guy. Now moving on to the next, we want to just put on a break right now, actually. Just talk about how this season has been a very different season and how teams like Leicester, in fact, have come into the top flight. And they weren't in the top flight 10 years ago. So this proves the evolution of the Premier League from not just being a league dominated by a couple of teams, but many teams, in fact. Another factor that we can put into this is Sheffield United putting on a great performance. Wolves putting on a great performance this season. It shows a lot of growth in the league itself. Unlike other sporting leagues such as the NBA, which has a static lineup of teams, the Premier League actually has a rotation of teams who are always at the top and who are always competing at the top tier. Now, is that a nod to how much investment there is in Premier League? Probably, but also it's just how much people want to win, the drive. I don't think there's any other league right now which shows as much drive as the Premier League. But with that said, we'll move on to our next interview. Next host is an avid supporter of the so-called Pride of London. And since they are the only team from the south of England in the top four, that name holds a lot more precedence. It's the Blues, it's Chelsea, it's Toby.
My guy.
Yeah, what's up?
How are you doing, bro?
I'm all right. And you're
good to be here. This is a very interesting concept that we have going on here with all of us, just talking about our own top 6 clubs. And I'm so excited. So what you got for me, bro?
First of all, being the only team which is represented in London in the top 4, what does that mean for Chelsea?
In a way, that is a good thing, honestly, because of course we are the only one to hold European trophies, than the other two, which I don't want to talk about. I don't want to get into,
Yeah, no.
I know they're around here and they might be a little upset that I said that, but it's honestly true. It's facts. You can save all that for later. But, to be honest with you, this season was topsy-turvy. The fact that we've had ups and downs, we've had a transfer ban, we've had a manager who doesn't have much experience. Of course, a legend in the club and his playing times, but it's been good, honestly. I actually like the season, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, since the lockdown restart, Chelsea have remained in the same position they were before the lockdown, which is 4th place. Why do you think that is?
That's actually a tricky question to answer because, we've had a lot of inconsistency over the past years, and that's been Chelsea for you. We've had a lot of trouble at the back. We've had a transfer ban. I'm not going to blame all of that because of the transfer ban. The fact that we're still top 4 is just amazing. We finished 4th. We're in the Champions League. We've got good transfers coming, which I'll be talking about. But honestly, I think it's just been inconsistency. There's been no possession. There's just been no balance. And we give the ball so easily at the back. And but again, man, our home wins are just so bad. And compared to away, we've had more away wins, I think. And but it's nothing to do with us finishing 4th. But the fact that we're in 4th place, I think it just shows the consistency level of Chelsea at this point in time.
Yeah, I agree with that. And looking at the squad right now, we can tell that the transfers that are being made are meant to fix most of the problems we have in the attack. Because our goal difference, as much as it is like a drawback of the defense not being there much, I feel these transfers actually will help with that. What do you think about that? What do you think about
It's good. It's good that we needed a striker. Of course, Tammy is a very good striker. He is the top scorer of Chelsea this season, but not the top scorer in the Premier League. But he's done excellent But I think, I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's still young. He's still growing. He needs to get more experience. He needs that leadership from someone. He needs to get influenced by someone. And I'm just so glad that we've got Timo Werner in the squad, who can help us get goals, who can help us in attacking situations. We really needed that. Someone who's quick, someone who's versatile. He can play in the wing, he can play up strike. And I'm just so glad he's in the squad, man. I'm so glad that he chose us over those so-called Liverpool. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, and plus ZX in the squad. That's also a good thing because, you know, that beautiful left leg he's got and those goals he scored against Chelsea when he was in Ajax just proves what he's worth and what the project's going to be for next season.
Yeah, that was a good look into the next season, and thank you for talking about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. One more thing I need to add. I mean, defensively, beyond that good.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Looking into the summer transfer window, I hope with the Abramovich money and the money we've got from Hazard and all that money, we can get a good goalkeeper, good centre back, and a good left back to help us win titles. Because that is Chelsea, and we win titles.
Fair enough. He said it, and it is what it is. Supporting the Spurs, a team which fought their way into 6th place this season, with a great KL goal tonight, Kahu.
Hey man, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm feeling all right. I feel like at this point of the podcast, we're getting into like the teams which actually put in a lot of work to guard.
Yeah, man.
Money.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Especially after the stadium, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I feel like it was a team performance that I've seen develop over time because this is a team that hasn't changed much. What do you think about that, and why do you support Spurs?
Yeah, man. Our team, I would say there's definitely like like a solid like 5-6 players that are definitely like the stronghold of the team, especially these last couple of seasons. Yeah, man. This season in general, with the sacking, and I would say I think if you're a Spurs fan, you have to take it as it is. You have to be happy that we even clinched 6th. Like, yeah, man. I'm just really proud of the team and the fact that we could achieve that. Definitely.
Yeah. I agree with that. And you know what? We all know that Vertonghen, the Belgium international, was set to leave North London. But Mourinho didn't even bring him off the bench at any stage today. What do you think about him playing his last ever game and Mourinho's overall performance as a manager this season?
Yeah, man. I thought Vertonghen was good. I think we all know about Vertonghen and Alderweireld, like their partnership at the back for Spurs and Belgium. But I think it's just testament, like, this season, he started only 19 times compared to Alderweireld starting 32, almost half. And I think, with Mourinho coming in and, like, the change, and you know how you said he's set to leave. It's just, to get the other players and Alderweireld used to playing with someone else and not having to rely on him since he's leaving. So I don't mind that at all. But I do think it's sad, after all he's done for the club, that he couldn't play his last game. But it's fine. I trust Mourinho. I trust what he's doing.
Yeah, I feel you. And with that, we all know he's made some crazy signings to change certain teams to become a world-class team. Do you think there's a guy out there who can make Tottenham compete in even the Champions League?
Man, like you said, he has done this in the past. He's done great things. That's why I trust him. It's definitely a pro to Mourinho, that his experience. So he definitely would have an eye for someone like that. Me personally, I just think that it's not a one-man job. Like, I don't think one person's going to come in and sort everything out for us. But I'm really hopeful that he'll come through. That he'll come through, whoever he signs.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. And
yeah, man.
Thank you for joining the podcast, my guy.
Yeah, man. No worries. My pleasure.
Supporting the Gunners in their post-Wenger era, Samuel.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you right now. My mental health is not in the best state right now. Arsenal have really messed up this season. This is possibly the worst I've ever seen us in 14 years of supporting them. So I mean, it's just terrible, bro.
I feel you, man. I feel you so much because being a Chelsea being a London team who also like suffered a lot, we have been where you are at some point this decade. But I also just want to ask you about how you feel about tonight and performance overall.
I mean, today's game, honestly speaking, I really don't care whether we, winning, losing, drawing. Really don't care. This season was bad anyway. We did pick up the win, but the performance was very lackluster.
Who's at fault? Who's at fault?
I mean, I can't even pinpoint it on one person because like it's the mentality of the club. Emery this season messed up completely, and these players just aren't good enough. Maybe like a few I would keep for next season. I'd sell the rest, to be honest, because these guys, I don't see them taking us to the next level. I don't see these guys even becoming football greats at all. Like, they're all just average players, most of them at least.
Well, the last time Arsenal was out of the top six was way back in the 1994-1995 season when they finished. Why did they slip out of the top tier this season? And how much is that a factor of Arsene Wenger not being there anymore?
I feel Wenger left too late. He left Arsenal way too late. He should have left sooner because he, as much of a legend he was, like, he was part of the problem as well. He got too comfortable with fourth place finishes. He wasn't ambitious anymore. He didn't light that fire, for Arsenal. And it's like, right now we just have a mentality in our club where it's like mediocrity is acceptable, and like Arsenal are a massive club. We have a lot of trophies and we can't afford to be 8th in a campaign. I mean, we finished below Wolverhampton Wanderers. I mean, Tottenham, we finished below Spurs. That's like an insult, man. So like, I don't know, man. It's just terrible. To
play devil's advocate, do you think that this is what would have happened if Lampard actually played how pundits thought he was going to play?
You're saying
as a manager, because preseason everyone was doubting the validity of his managerial stance. But looking at Arsenal and Chelsea and how they implemented different types of play styles, look at Chelsea and how they put younger guys in and really gave chances to people to shine, and how Arsenal just stuck with their guns and didn't shoot.
Chelsea played a lot of youngsters, but then again in Arsenal we played a lot of youngsters as well. Like, you look at the likes of Joe Willock, Eddie Nketiah, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli. Like, we used a lot of young players this season. But with Chelsea just have more quality than we do. They have people like Kovacic, they have like decent players. Chelsea have better players than Arsenal, if I'm being real. But like, they also didn't start the season as bad as we did, because everyone expected Lampard to flop because, he didn't really have money to spend. They had like their transfer ban or whatnot. But Lampard, proved to be a very good coach, and he just had better materials to work with. Arteta came in like halfway through the season, so we were already crumbling by the time Arteta came in. So I really I never expected Arteta to really, do anything with this team. But like, fair play to Chelsea, I guess. Like, they do deserve it,
And just like how we rounded up the previous interviews, let's look forward to next season, my guy. What can Arsenal do in the transfer market to fix things?
I'll be honest with you. In the transfer market, Arsenal really need to spend. I'm not talking 50 million and loan deals and swap. I'm talking about you guys. I don't know where you're going to get the money, but get the money, sign good players. So, because if we don't do that, then next season we're just going to finish in the bottom half of the table, and it's just going to keep going downhill until eventually we become Leeds United. Because if we don't spend money this summer, then I might as well not watch Arsenal next season, to be honest, because I know what's going to happen. We need to spend, we need to get players. I'm hearing talks of Coutinho, I'm hearing the Zaha talks, and like, those are all encouraging, but like, we need to strengthen in other areas as well. And I feel as though, a lot of money needs to be spent this summer, bro.
And I agree with that, Samuel, but unfortunately we have come to the very end of this special Premier League Roundup episode of For the Love of Football podcast. I've been your host, Mbuso. You can check out our podcast on these following platforms. Spotify and Anchor are the ones we have currently, but also the other ones will be available too. You can follow us on Instagram to keep up to date with all the new things that are happening with Forward Football podcast, and thank you very much for listening. Peace.